On January 8th, 2025, the streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing graphic videos of her without her consent to a 19-year-old young woman over Discord.
Something I can't, like, I'm not gonna go into detail or anything, but there's plenty of people that's wondering this, but I feel like this should be obvious. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else. Like there's been no consent.
On
Whoa. Whoa.
January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing graphic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these graphic videos to had allegedly been hacked, leading to these.
Rose is Coming is the chick that Destiny sent these videos to. Rose is Coming.
Videos being leaked on the internet.
I think a friend of mine's account from that I talked to like 3 or 4 years ago ended up getting compromised, and you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the memes.
Oh.
It is what it is. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Okay.
Later on that same day of January 21st, one of Destiny's previous close friends named Cherry not only accused Destiny of sharing a recording of them having sex without her consent.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Cherry because it's a trash talk extravaganza. I'll tell you a little bit about this chick, right? I know all the players involved in this, unfortunately, because I used to debate and destroy them all, right? So this chick, right, she's a lunatic freak, okay? This broad, she has a neckbeard, an actual, like, neckbeard husband. This guy's a total dork. He does the you know, the neckbeard lumberjack thing where the beatniks will you know, they'll have like the dork Vosh glasses, you know, and then they'll have the suspenders coming up with like you know, with the tucked in boots, the lumberjack, you know, dork look, right? She was married to this guy, right? But her big complaint was that this guy couldn't get her off. And so she didn't want to have sex with him. She didn't want to have sex with him because he couldn't get her off. So she started Destiny, right? She started founding Destiny. And she says it was the most glorious thing ever because Destiny could get her off. So she's like married to this guy while she's pounding the Coomer Gremlin. And he's like fine with it because now she wants to have sex again, right? So we did this debate one night. It was between her and who was it with? Zen Shapiro and his brother, right? And it was Jerry and someone else. This chick was so fucking dumb. She was so dumb. She couldn't even grasp what they were saying. So bad. So anyway, she tried to make an entire career out of basically having had sex with Destiny, and it flopped. It failed miserably because, as you might note, most of these women are completely talentless and stupid. So when they go off and they try to, you know, do their talentless, stupid streams, they fail. They fail miserably, and no amount of Destiny Coomer love can convince enough DGG heads, his community, DGG, to go over there and give them enough money to keep them afloat. Like, it just can't be done. So this all unfolded a long time ago.
But also of recording her without her knowledge. Destiny has since admitted to sharing these sex tapes of Pixie and Melina without their consent. Cherry's allegation is still just an allegation, but she has recently filed a police report against Destiny. This is the story of Stephen Bennell II, a man given far too much power and the ways he has abused this power for his own personal gain. Hi, so this
Oh, God, this guy is so hard to look at. This dude is so hard to look at. And by the way, he is Ultra Omega Simp 5000. Like, I've never seen a dude on Twitter simp for more women than this f***ing dork, ever.
Video has been a long time coming. I've been slowly collecting evidence about this man Destiny here for about 3 years now. And I don't know about you, but I think it's finally time to take this down. Destiny is widely hated by a variety of communities across the internet for a variety of reasons. But no matter how hated Destiny became, he always had a strong army of sycophants that would defend him no matter what he did. However,
and they still will. And let me explain why they're still going to do that. They're going to still do that because they don't care about these mediocre skanks who f him for clout. They don't care. They literally don't care. They're upsetty spaghetti. They're upsetty spaghetti about the fact that he released the tapes without their consent, right? But like, this is just, to me, I've never really understood what everybody's even all that pissed off about, because to me, this is just typical fucking Destiny shit. Just typical Coomer Gremlin nonsense, right?
However, recently, almost all of his orbiters have abandoned him. Orbiters are what he calls his friends who stream with him. Basically, the implication is that Destiny is this massive planet, and all of his friends are these little planets that orbit around him. This has created,
which is true,
an ecosystem where most of Destiny's friends rely on Destiny's success for fame and money.
This is also true.
And because most of these people rely on Destiny for money, they've done a remarkably good job at sweeping allegations against Destiny under the rug.
This is also actually true.
For years. However, these recent allegations against Destiny have been so egregious that the majority of even his most loyal orbiters have decided to leave his orbit. Now,
yeah, they probably f***ed up though. Like, just to be totally honest with you, they probably f***ed up a little bit, because I just don't think anything's going to happen to this guy based around this. And like, oh no, what's he going to do? Oh, I can never get another chick like Kyla and another hard like Pisco. It's like, come on, they'll literally jump off of buildings to be in this guy's orbit.
Now, barely anyone is still defending Destiny. One person who is still defending Destiny is Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, who recently decided to slut-shame Destiny's victims.
Where I go, I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way to whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Prixie, but you did sleep your way to the top. You know,
no lies told.
we gotta call a spade here.
Even though Myron is an absolutely insane anti-Semitic woman hater who stands for everything that Destiny claims to be against, Destiny says that he has more respect for Myron than for anyone else on the internet.
In all of my years, God, this feels so shitty. In all my years of doing content, I have more respect for Myron than any other individual.
Apparently, the amount of respect that Destiny has for you as a person is dependent on how willing you are to suck up to him.
Well, probably. I mean, that's a pretty uncharitable way to put it, right? It's not exactly untrue, but it's just kind of uncharitable. I think for most people, most human beings on planet Earth, when the chips are down and you're getting your ass kicked, right? Which Destiny's chips are definitely down, and he's definitely been getting his ass kicked over this. I mean, just brutalized, right? If anybody who is somebody on the scene who doesn't kind of kick you while you're down, I think for most people they would consider that person to be, honorable or a friend or something like that, right? Libs should know the rules of Coomer Gremlins. 1, avoid sunlight. 2, don't get them wet. 3, never send them nudes after midnight. Yep, it's true.
He is the only person that I've seen that will consistently go into areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times to be had right here if he was on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
I have some level of empathy for Destiny's orbiters because it is difficult to be stuck in a position where you financially rely on someone who is not a great person, but
they're not great people either. They're not great people. None of them are great people. None of them. They're just as bad as the Coomer Gremlin when it comes to this. This has all been known forever, by the way, that this entire community operates based on a completely separate moral paradigm than most human beings. They like to coom and have sex with each other and film the shit and do a bunch of drugs and be just ghastly, disgusting folks. Like, how is this news? How's this news?
I have basically no empathy for Destiny because I believe that Destiny is a massive piece of shit, and I will hopefully demonstrate why I feel that way in this video. In this video, I will go through nearly every harmful action that Destiny has committed over the years, and then allow you to come to your own conclusions on whether or not you think this is a person who deserves anyone's admiration or respect. Before we jump into Destiny's actions from across the years, I think I should take a little bit of time to dispel some possible well poisoning that Destiny or his community DGG could try to attack me with. The first accusation they might throw at me is that I'm obsessed with Destiny.
Yeah, that is a common one. That is a very common one. If you make any commentary whatsoever on something bad the Coomer Gremlin has done, his community does do that. They'll go in and spam your chat with like, why are you so obsessed, bro? Why are you so, you know what I mean? And I think in the beginning, when they would do that, it kind of worked, you know what I mean? Because they're usually blitzing much smaller creators than Destiny is, right? Significantly smaller. But in this case, it just hasn't worked for him in a long time. People are like, well, you know, this guy is a large political commentator. He's on news shows now, things like this. Like the kind of people, he's out there trying to get attention. So people commenting on him kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? So the whole obsession thing, that doesn't really hold much weight anymore.
This is an accusation they like to throw at anyone who criticizes Destiny.
He's right. It's true.
Personally, I don't think it makes me obsessed with Destiny that I've been researching him for the purpose of criticizing him. None of Destiny's fans accused me of being obsessed with Sneeko when I did a deep dive into Sneeko's harmful actions because they don't like Sneeko. But they probably will accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny because Destiny is their daddy. This is the first video I've ever made about Destiny, and it'll probably be about an hour and a half long. Compare that to the probably hundreds of hours that Destiny has spent on his stream criticizing Hassan. And I have nothing against Destiny criticizing Hassan. It would just be pretty hypocritical to accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny for making 1 hour and a half long video about him while Destiny has talked about Hassan for—
But this guy is actually obsessed. I don't know how you compete with this argument that he's making right now, right? So he's saying, you know, considering the hundreds of hours that the Coomer Gremlin has spent raging about Hassan Piker, who started as an orbiter of Destiny and then just basically shot past that into his own stratosphere, that you would have to lay the same accusation at the Coomer Gremlin's feet, that he also is obsessed with other streamers. So, like, who gives a ultimately? This is what this guy's point is.
For hundreds of hours. Destiny has written multiple incredibly long manifestos criticizing creators like Vosh, Keffels, and Bob7, who Destiny believes
all of this
have
is
wronged
true.
him over the years. Although I find the label of manifesto a bit cringe.
Both things can be true, though. Yeah, but then you, the lover of the DGG, you would be hypocritical in not giving the application back to the Coomer Gremlin, right? So if you're saying, hey, you're obsessed over this guy because you made an hour-long video about him, carefully cataloging every bad and nefarious deed on the internet he's ever done, then you also should be leveling that same criticism back towards Destiny himself for the many, many hours of hit pieces he's made on other people. That's what this guy's point is. So, yes, you could say both are true at the same time and perhaps even be right. It's just from the perspective of him, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Destiny's audience to not apply the same standard back to Destiny.
Cringe. I see nothing inherently wrong with Destiny writing manifestos to chronicle the bad behaviors of these creators. So, in the same way, I guess this will be my manifesto against Destiny. And if you have an issue with me making this manifesto, I hope you will stay logically consistent and also criticize Destiny for making manifestos about Vosh, Keffels, and Bob7. If I had to predict how Destiny himself would respond to this video, he would probably respond with something similar to this tweet that he tweeted at me a couple years ago. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a apologist because you're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. Don't play stupid. You know exactly what you're doing.
Ah, so revenge. So he's saying they're going to make the accusation that this is revenge.
To be honest, Destiny isn't 100% wrong here. I am jumping onto a bandwagon of people criticizing him, but I don't think that's an inherently bad thing to do. Destiny jumps onto bandwagons of people criticizing Hassan all the time. When Ethan Klein makes videos attacking Hassan, Destiny jumps onto the bandwagon. So when a bunch of people on the internet are criticizing Destiny right now for sharing women's sex tapes without their consent, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump onto the bandwagon and roast the shit out of him. With the way the internet works, criticisms against someone are more likely to stick when that person is actively engaged in a controversy. This is just how the internet is. So yes, I waited to make this video until you were in a possibly career-ending controversy because I knew that this would make more people listen to my criticism against you. Do you have a problem with that? You know how the internet works, Destiny. You jump onto bandwagons of criticizing people who are in controversies all the time. But now that the shit's on the other foot, you're mad about it.
Again, all fair points. All fair points. Every single one of them is a fair point.
All the other from all the other vultures and all the other communities that are like coming in trying to like make drama out of this, that don't give a fuck about any victims or any people involved, which is the majority of people.
Okay, yeah, okay. So to Destiny's point here, I can't. I gotta try to be as consistent as I can possibly be. I don't consider any of these people really to be victims because, I mean, they were victims of him, I guess, giving their vids out without consent. They're victims of that, but like, come on, you know, these chicks, they knew what they were doing. They're this guy for career clout. Like, just I don't. First of all, if you get a Destiny at all, that already says all that anybody would ever need to know about you, right? Like, if you're a woman and you want to have sex with this guy who's literally 5'2", you know, he's 5'2", he's a junkie, he bangs everything, he sucks men's asses, is like, that tells us all we already need to know about you. We don't need to know anything past that, right?
Don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care about that.
Another accusation that Destiny's fans like to throw at people who criticize him is that they're just doing it for money. Oh, you mean like how Destiny has made money from covering other people's controversies for years? What a dog argument. Yes, I'm gonna make money from this video because this is my job, just like Destiny makes money from criticizing.
Oh, you mad? Oh, it's a gossip girl chat. Are you mad? No, I guess all politics are gossip then if you make commentary about anything, you know, Professor Scotty. Gee, shut the up and go run back to DGG with your tail between your legs, you little, while we finish the stream that we're doing.
Criticizing other people because that's his job. But this video isn't just about making money for me. I genuinely care about raising awareness for the shitty stuff that Destiny has done. If you're gonna write a manifesto about Keffals and say that she needs to be held responsible for her actions,
Demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible.
I'm gonna do the same thing to you. Now let's focus in on this part of the tweet. You're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. You know what, Destiny? You are not totally wrong. Being bullied off the internet didn't feel particularly good because people don't tend to enjoy being bullied. Destiny and his community definitely have bullied me over the years, but I don't really care to relitigate my personal beef with Destiny. Destiny and his community weren't very nice to the suit-wearing fatty. Who gives a But Destiny, you don't get to criticize Keffals for being a bully
Internet bullying.
and then turn around and take pride in the fact that you're a bully. That is called hypocrisy. The fact that Destiny and his community have bullied me in the past probably
Andrew, keep doing what you do, man. Love this channel. And yes, my son Maverick will be just like me. Excellent.
is a factor in why I chose to make this video. And I would argue that the treatment that Destiny received from creators like Vosh and Keffals is one of the reasons he made manifestos against them. As much as I might want to, I am a human being and I can't fully separate myself from my own personal biases.
So, okay, so part of this is revenge. So what he's saying is part of this is revenge because this guy f***ed me up and now I'm pissed. So that is, okay, but at least, I mean, he's copping to it, right? At least he's copping to it.
And the fact that I have been bullied by Destiny and his community in the past does probably make me somewhat biased against them. If you feel like my personal bias against Destiny means that I'm not the right person to make this video, I respect that opinion and I encourage you to go watch a different YouTube video. But in this video, I'm going to try my absolute best to be as unbiased as possible and stick to the facts as much as possible.
Man, the 14 minutes of disclaimers is pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie.
I am gonna try my best to not view Destiny in bad faith because I think even if
You don't have to be a Destiny simp to recognize gossip. I'm not sure if it's politically relevant as gossip because, how would you even make political commentary on what other people are doing and saying and have it not be gossip? Like, how is that even possible? You know what I mean? I think gossip has a nefarious tone to it. It's not a thing which is done to cover relevant events which are going on. I think that is what gossip would be. Now, mind you, even if it was gossip, I'd be fine with that, and you could still go for yourself. Like, I'm just pointing that out.
If you view him in good faith, he's still a piece of I do feel like one of Destiny's tactics from across the years is to be incredibly mean to anyone he has a conflict with. So when that person eventually decides to make a video criticizing him, he can just write that person off as obsessive and just mad because he bullied them.
As a supporter of yours, I'd appreciate if you addressed some of the points made in the Britney video. She seemed to be pretty fair, especially in her conclusions. I don't have time to address every deranged, obsessive video that's made about me. I still haven't watched a Britney video.
Just add this tactic to the long list of tactics that Destiny and his community use to deflect criticism from themselves. The last criticism that Destiny and his community might make against this video is that I'm bringing up a bunch of old news that Destiny has already addressed. While that might be the case for some of the things I talk about in this video is not being made for Destiny's community. I'm making this video for the broader internet, and the majority of the broader internet doesn't know about all of these past controversies that you might consider old news. Contrary to what you guys might believe, the entire world does not orbit around Destiny. If Destiny is going to be interviewing potential presidential candidates like Marianne Williamson, then I think the broader political community deserves to know about Destiny's past actions. Destiny has said
I don't really know how you argue with that.
before that he has nothing to hide, and people can't expose him
We
for
ever post
anything that he's
fan-made
done in the
songs
past
and
because he's open about everything
gotta
he's
review
done
them
in
first
his
when I
life.
get time.
When someone else was trying to expose Destiny for his bad behavior, he sent these messages to his chat. So if he wants to expose me, that's fine. Let him expose. But he needs to post receipts instead of just vaguely alluding to shit. There's literally nothing anyone
1 hour intro. Please, bro, just get to... I know. He is taking a long time with the disclaimers in his intro, right? But it seems that he might be very familiar with kind of DGG tactics. And so what he's trying to do is say, this is all going to be well poisoned anyway, so I might as well put all these disclaimers in so they're all addressed now because this is how their tactics essentially work. So that's what he's doing. So I kind of understand the logic behind doing it.
because I don't do anything bad / weird. I am the cleanest in this entire scene. The worst anyone could ever have on me is dick pics or something. He can talk about whatever he wants, but he should provide proof, not just baseless accusations / speculation. Alright, Destiny, in this video I will provide plenty
Crucible
of
Cruise
proof
drinking
and
fun.
receipts
Appreciate
to
that.
back up everything
I'll be there
that I
Sunday.
accuse
Can't
you
wait.
of.
Can't wait
if
to
what
meet
you said
you.
in these messages is true, then you should have absolutely no issue with me lying out everything that you've done over the years on the table. Are we on the same page? Great. Honestly, I feel like the fact that I feel the need to lay out all these preambles and pretext and shoot down possible criticisms before they make them should show you that Destiny's community have become masters at deflecting criticism against them. You can call these Bert from Mary Poppins in the way that they're masters at sweeping. The joke here is that Bert from Mary Poppins is a chimney sweep. It's a funny joke, okay? Off. My goal in this video is not to push some sort of political agenda against Destiny. I actually think he is a very smart dude who's one of the best debaters on the internet and one of the best people at using logic to defend liberal values. I debated Destiny a couple times a few years ago and he definitely wiped the floor with me, especially in our second debate. I have no shame in admitting that. Destiny is definitely a better debater than I am. Even if I disagree with a lot of his opinions because I'm a leftist, I can still recognize that he's done a great job dunking on a bunch of dumbass conservatives. But like Destiny said in his manifesto against Keffels, I don't think we should be afraid to hold members of our own community accountable.
Demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible.
And Destiny has
Lazy
done a
eyes,
lot
thanks for
of
the
that I think he needs to be held accountable for. Just because he's a good debater who's really good at defending the liberal ideology, I don't think that means that we should sweep his bad behavior under the rug.
And I don't understand how Steven can really say that he wants to be a serious political advocate if he doesn't want to manage his personal life in any way that's serious. Like, why should the DNC involve you in anything that they want when your personal life looks like a fucking train wreck that's going to be bad PR for all of them? Why should anyone want to spend time debating you on these bigger platforms if all you're going to do is bring fucking tarnishing their reputation, right? It's like, if you're serious about this, you should make this sacrifice. And if you can't, then I don't think you really care about the political positions that you claim to care about.
My goal in this video is to simply lay out all of his actions from across the...
Shout my son Maverick out again, please. Shout out to you, Maverick. Can't get enough of your content. Middle class guy hoping Trump gets that no tax on overtime. You're the man. Yeah, that would be great. Devin the Polish for $10 says, this is quite an all-encompassing disclaimer, but let's be real. This guy looks like he's always done his homework. I'll bet Nana would fix his eyebrows and he would never be able to keep his lunch money. There's a good possibility that's true.
Years that I consider harmful and allow you to come to your own conclusions. All right?
Okay.
Let's get into it. In this video,
okay.
I hope...
By the way, that's 17 minutes almost of disclaimers before we are actually getting into the meat of this. Unconventional Man says, I'll be there Sunday. Didn't get the VIP as they sold out. Yeah, I think the Crucible crew bought them all up. But looking forward to seeing Andrew destroy lunatics live and in person. You won't regret it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The wife will be there with me as well. You guys will be able to meet her. It'll be like a little micro vacation for us.
Hope to establish a pattern of how Destiny, over the course of his career, has repeatedly taken advantage of and harmed women and occasionally children, and how he has advocated for a world that makes it easier for people like him to harm women.
This guy's coping super chat. So the Crucible's become the TMZ for Christ Media now. Where are the relevant discussions about politics, metaphysics, price for glory, I guess. Here, let me, I know that this is a diversion, but I actually have plenty of time today to kill, to rip on you idiots. So I'll just make this one pretty clear, right? I'm going to talk about whatever the I want, whenever the I want to, and no amount of whatever you think is social shaming is going to stop that. I have been socially shamed by people who are way better at it than you. Way better at it than you. And that's not going to deter me either. So me going and reviewing what's going on with a political personality inside of this scene there's nothing. Not only is there nothing wrong with that, but as a political commentator, that's part of my job. So what I would like you to do, the Everett 90, is to kindly go f yourself. Don't worry about what I do. Worry about what you do. Back to this. For $20 comes in Ivan Olivares for 20. Says, no message. I appreciate that. I didn't want to hear what you had to say anyway.
Women and children. We'll start by going through Destiny's harmful behavior towards women, then we'll take a detour to his harmful behavior towards children, and then we'll loop back around to his harmful behavior towards women.
Ooh, you know what you DGGers who are here now should do? You should try to lead a chat revolt. It's always funny when you guys try to do that, too. Come on, guys! We're leaving, guys! Come on, everyone! We're getting out of here, everyone! This guy sucks! You should do that one next. It's like a step-by-step stupid playbook, you know.
And again. Sound good? Well, it's not going to be. Around the end of 2011, Destiny sexually assaulted a woman on his live stream. I'm not using the word allegedly here because we have video of him doing it, and he has openly admitted that it was sexual assault.
I would say that in my streaming career in the past, like totally publicly, like I completely and totally like sexually assaulted a girl on stream before for like 5 minutes or whatever. I got super drunk and was like grabbing her breast the entire time.
Later, Destiny has attempted to downplay his actions here by tweeting, I was drunk off my ass literally for the first time in my life. And he said that at the time he didn't understand how bad it was, but now looking back years later, he understands that it was reprehensible behavior.
And at the time I figured like, oh, well, you know, we're gonna away, like it doesn't matter, like she's chill or whatever, like I'm drunk, it doesn't matter. Like at the time I'm thinking like, you know, oh, it's not a big deal, but like looking back I'm like, okay, wait, this is like really 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 reprehensible behavior.
But if you go back and watch the clip immediately,
okay, that doesn't look great. Okay, it doesn't look great. He should have just doubled down, you know. He should have just been like, yeah, I grabbed her boobs, so what? Yeah, I did it. I gave him a squeeze and a twist too, f***head. That's what I do. Yeah, I did it. And then I took her in the back and plowed her. Like, he probably should have just doubled down. But, you know, you can't get that good, sweet, liberal street cred without also admitting that you yourself are some kind of a creep for the liberals and the progressives to dunk on for your privilege or, you know, whatever the f*** it is. Even though Jake calls himself Lord, the Padawan did a great job. Had that kid crying. Yeah, he did good. He did good.
Immediately after assaulting her, he says, listen, I'm gonna apologize to you so much tomorrow.
Listen, I'm gonna apologize
Yeah,
to
say
you
sorry.
so much tomorrow.
Shh. Why would you need to apologize to her tomorrow, Destiny? Is it maybe because you understood that what you were doing was wrong? To me, this shows that even in his incredibly drunk
Yeah, he's a little drunk. You know, he grabbed a skank's chest. Looks pretty bad, not gonna lie. Looks pretty bad, right? Probably shouldn't have done that. But probably also the whole, like, yeah, I admit that was SA. That probably wasn't the move. But again, it might give you, like, I don't know, in the progressive community, that might give you like progressive street cred, you know? Like Hunter Avallone did that whole thing, right? Where he goes back and he does the apology tour. He's like, I used to be really hard on transgender individuals, but now I understand and I'm going to be their champion. I didn't know. I just didn't know. Thank you. But now that I know, I'll be your champion. And they're all like, yay. So they get caught doing shit like this, you know what I mean? They're like, well, I went and I got therapy and now I'm better and I can't wait to go back and be your people's champion. Like, the left loves that shit. You know what I mean? And the Sewing Circle Christians on the right love that too. They just love it in the opposite way. They're just like, yeah, I know that Charlene over there by the end of last week had finally mounted her 1,000th guy, but she's saved now, and we need to put her on a world tour explaining about how Christ loves you. It's like, so, you know, both sides have their stupid when it comes to this purity nonsense. And that's why you're the man. Hell with them. Yeah, screw them. What are they going to do? They can't do anything but cope in the chat. The Penguin from Batman comparison is there, but anyone who's seen American Psycho can see the Louis Carruthers resemblance. Was that like the gay dude who was in the bathroom stall in that movie?
state, he knew that what he was doing is wrong. And obviously, being drunk does not absolve you of your actions. Otherwise, we wouldn't criminalize drunk driving.
You've come here to this stream to defend drunk drivers to me.
This is a common tactic with Destiny where he'll half take accountability for something, but half try to downplay it by saying, oh, I was so drunk at the time. Oh, I didn't understand how bad it was at the time. But I'm calling you understood that what you were doing was bad, even back when you did it, because you were an adult, not a baby. According to this woman, Destiny has never directly apologized to her, even though she would like him to. She acknowledges that he has indirectly apologized on his stream, but my question is, did he apologize on his stream to save his reputation, or did he apologize because he was genuinely remorseful? I will allow you to answer that question for yourself as we go through more of Destiny's pattern of—
Well, great. Well, I'll answer it. I don't think that the Coomer Gremlin has a single ounce of remorse about grabbing 2 fistfuls of boobies while he was drunk. I don't think he gives a flying about it. I don't think it keeps him up at night. I don't think he gives a I think that he regrets that people came after him for it. I don't think he regrets the thing itself. I just don't think that his mind works that way. I don't think he gives a
of behavior from over the years. In 2012, Destiny shared private nudes of a woman he had been sexting named Blue Tea with his friends. Destiny will often claim that the reason for his actions are because he was provoked into doing them and he had no other choice.
I'm kind of being pushed into playing my entire hand.
But here, there was no provocation. He just thought it would be funny to share this woman's private nudes with his friends and joke about how f***ing hideous her face is compared to her beautiful body. And
Come on, chat. Let's revolt against Andrew and his beautiful head of hair. P.S. I love you. Yeah, it's just so stupid. I sent in a super chat so I could pretend like I'm a longtime fan to tell you how disapproving I am about the content that you're playing on a show called The Trash Talk Extravaganza. Get out of here, tool.
And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's private nudes without consent for the purpose of degrading her. In response, Blue Tea hacked Destiny's Twitter and tweeted out pictures of his dick. Obviously, I condemn this woman's actions. She posted revenge of Destiny, which is never justified. But don't forget that the situation that provoked this was Destiny maliciously sharing her nudes without her consent. On Reddit, Destiny replied to her by saying, I can't imagine how you can think that people will never ever ever talk about anything personal or private amongst their friends. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I can't see myself caring at all if you shared pictures between your close friends, especially given the fact that I'd never see any of them in real life. So, in this comment, Destiny is admitting that he did send the nudes without consent, and he's attempting to downplay his actions. A couple years later, when
That's what they do. How is this news? Modern women are encouraged to divorce and take all your things from their third wave friends and life of media. After many approaches, the only way to get the upper hand is to be aggressive and prey on their daddy issues. Oh, dude, what the is wrong with you? Weird.
When
weird,
one of Destiny's
weird
friends
comment,
named Bob
dude.
7 allegedly shared a woman's nudes without her consent, Destiny said that this should be life-destroying.
Bob 7 shared nude photographs of multiple women after pressuring one to post one without their consent. But I do believe that these are relatively life-destroying revelations.
But when Destiny does it, he justifies it by saying that he wouldn't care if someone did it to him. This is known as the personal preference fallacy, arguing that something isn't wrong simply because you wouldn't care if it was personally done to you. Even if Destiny wouldn't care if someone shared his nudes, which I doubt, that doesn't make it okay for him to do it to someone else. And a couple years later, Destiny demonstrates that he knows that sharing nudes is wrong by laughing at this clip of someone explaining how it's wrong.
The guy sent the nudes to like his buddy, and the buddy sent it to the other buddy, and it just like the whole school had her nudes.
Wow.
Right?
That's cray.
That in and of itself is another example of like violating consent. Like, even though, you know, for so long we were trained to be like, oh, consent has to do with like, you know, like sex. Stuff like that. But, like,
Did you guys know that if a breaks up with you and you send her nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys?
Him laughing like this is him
I mean, that is objectively wrong. Yeah. Just gonna point out that, yeah, if a chick breaks up with you and then you send her nudes to everybody, that's not good, and you probably shouldn't do that. Just want to kind of point out the obvious thing. That yeah, that's not good. So I don't really know how to reconcile that for this guy exactly, because no, that would be really bad to do.
sarcastically showing that he obviously understands it's wrong. So I think
I love the trash talk. Everybody loves the trash talk.
even back when Destiny did this, he understood that it was wrong. He's just pretending like he didn't understand that it was wrong to avoid taking accountability for his actions. Destiny has a long history of really not liking.
Yeah, I saw that he was being sarcastic, but the sarcasm seemed to move the opposite direction than how sarcasm would normally move, right? So he's like, yeah, guys, did you know that, guys, right? That even if you did X, that even that's wrong. That would be that if you're being sarcastic, you would say it the other way, right? You'd say, don't you guys know that it's never wrong to do blah, right? That you would do it, wouldn't you do it the other way? I think you would do it the other way. Is this trash talk? Yeah, it's trash talk. East to win. Would you like for me to trash talk you, East to win? Would that make you feel better? Would that make you feel a lot better about yourself?
When women post about their negative sexual experiences online. Real talk, opening up about quote-unquote your and on Twitter is incredibly weird and should never have been normalized. I have no idea why the people encourage others to trauma dump on social media. It's insanely unhealthy.
Yeah, that's true. It is. And it's weird. It is weird. It's really weird when women do that. It's odd. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy watching Destiny crash and burn content because it does such an amazing job of highlighting the results of moral relativism. Destiny just shifts his own standards at will. Yeah, and this is a result of that. Correct.
This was in response to a woman sharing an allegation about how she was stealth.
Oh, okay. It would make you feel better if I trash talked you here. Because I don't want to waste too much time on you, I'll just put you in timeout here for, I don't know. How about 5 minutes? How's that feel? Does that feel okay? Do you feel like you have been sufficiently, with now? I'm sorry that we're going through content at the moment. And while I'm giving scathing commentary in my normal and traditional Andrew Wilson way, that instead you wanted me to call your sister a bitch or something. I don't know exactly what it is that you wanted me to do, but whatever it was that you wanted me to do, now you can seethe about it where I can't see.
She was allegedly having sex with the man. She had established the boundary beforehand that he needed to wear a condom during sex, but in the middle of sex, he removed the condom, which is a form of I agree with Destiny that sometimes trauma dumping on social media can be unhealthy, but sharing allegations on social media obviously has the possible benefit of holding people accountable for their actions. And putting the words "your" in quotation marks obviously implies that he's casting some level of doubt onto her story.
So what? It's so what? I'm so what? Like so? I'll never get tired of watching the internet's cut going down. I mean, look, this train wreck is a fun ride. I'm not gonna lie.
It's one thing to wait to
Sending
see
someone's news
before
without
you
consent is
fully
bad.
Believe someone's story
Okay.
that they post on social media. It's
Okay.
another thing to instantly cast doubt on their story just because you're annoyed that they decided to post about it on social media. This controversy started because Destiny had retweeted someone who tweeted, "If you knew he took off the condom and you couldn't even bring yourself to say anything, you shouldn't be having casual sex." A bunch of people got mad at Destiny for retweeting this, so then he tweeted, "If you are noticing someone is taking a condom off and you can't say anything, you probably don't have the emotional maturity to engage in sex. You should probably just grab a caretaker or something and stick to masturbating to furry porn. Sorry."
I mean, again, he said that seems fine to me. Like, again, that seems completely legitimately fine to me to say that. Like that, he's like, well, you have agency, and if you notice somebody's doing that, you should probably say something about it. And if you don't, that's really weird that you're not saying anything about it. If you don't want that to happen, right? Like, it just seems odd, right?
People got even more mad at this tweet, so then he tweeted, "Sorry, I want to apologize for my last tweet. You
Am I friends with Destiny? Absolutely not. The Coomer Gremlin? Not even a little bit. I have a moderate amount of respect for him when it comes to his debate chops. He's one of the funner people that I do debate. That's true enough. But I don't, no, I'm not in any way or shape or capacity friends with the Coomer Gremlin. Not even a little bit. But that doesn't matter. I'm still going to give a fair take. And so from my perspective, you have to remember that here's what's going on. Destiny is a complete and total piece of shit, Stephen Bonnell II, but all of the people who are on the left who are scathing him for X, Y, and Z are also all pieces of shit. So I can basically on Destiny for the things he deserves, but also on them for the things that they deserve, because none of them are my friend. None of them are my buddies. None of them are my pals. None of them have my interests at heart. That's for damn sure. They can all f*** off. And they're all going to get ripped on. Not just the Coomer Gremlin, including this stupid dork who's having a panic attack because Destiny said, well, you know, if guys slipping a condom off, nah, maybe you should say something about it. Oh, God, he gave women agency. Oh, no. And how exactly does this live show help to spread your political message? Well, because you see, in order for me to do what it is that I do best, which is spread my political message, especially through debates and entertainment and things like this, I have to raise revenue for the channel. One great way to do that is to piss people like you, the Everett, off so much that you need me to respond to you by sending me in your hard-earned money. This, in turn, allows you to get the attention that you're seeking from me, in my opinion, and it allows me to enter into a war chest to continue to battle with the degenerates across the internet. I hope that answered your question, sir.
You should treat every single woman you come across like a retarded child who's incapable of voicing an opinion about literally anything. Ideally, you would bring her dad along to every so he can guide her through the process. First of all, she did clearly assert her boundaries before sex. She just struggled to reassert her boundaries when this man started raping her because this made her so uncomfortable. I agree that if you struggle to reassert your boundaries during sex, this could make it more likely that you would end up being harmed during sex. And we should obviously encourage people to assert their boundaries during sex as much as they possibly can. But rather than show empathy for women who struggle to tell men to stop because they're so terrified while they're being Destiny decides to insult these women's emotional maturity and call them children. According to a neuroscience article in the journal Nature Human Behavior, victims frequently report immobility during and sexual assault, often using the term freezing. Neuroscientific evidence suggests fear and threat can block cortical neural circuits for action control, leading to involuntary immobility. And this sort of immobility can manifest as physical immobility or verbal immobility.
I still can't get over the comment, this guy's hard to look at. I don't know why he put the camera right there. He did the Alex PWF thing, you know? Literally the camera's right in front of his face.
A 2017 Scandinavian study reported that 70% of the 200
Super chat comes in from East to and he says, I agree. My sister was alive. She could be a at times. Well, I'm sorry your sister passed. I didn't mean to, you know, that's kind of a up comment because you're trying to make me feel like now I kind of do, you know. So I guess congratulations. Every time you do that pallbearer voice, I lose it. W for the mega stream. Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much. Getting pretty close to almost 20% of what our dono goal for the day is. Thanks for all you and the Crucible do. You're what we needed when we needed it. Here to serve. Here to serve. But I don't see why it is like these leftists, and there's tons of people who are like this. They think when there's a bad guy and he's caught being a bad guy, we need to shoot him. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I also think you're a bad guy. I think you're all fucking scumbags, and I want to on all of you, not just Destiny. Do I like on Destiny sometimes? Sure. Does he deserve it sometimes? Absolutely. But all these deserve it almost all the time. So, you know, like let's rip into all of them, you know?